Programa patrocinado por Longines.
Welcome to Vejer la Frontera. This is week 4 of the Sunshine Tour here in Andalusia, just outside Cadiz, in the amazing facilities of Montemedio. 25 years going now, Montemedio, 1,700 horses on site. It's the place where a lot of people come to train, a lot of people come to start their horses for the year ahead. And also the place where this year some teams have chosen for getting their team started for the international outdoor season. A very important year this year. It's the last chance for qualification for the Olympics. The Olympics to be held in Tokyo, and this is also the place that the Japanese team has chosen to start their campaign leading up to the Tokyo Olympic Games. Another beautiful week, wonderful weather. Today is no exception. 22 degrees, sunshine, very little wind. It has been an exceptional tour so far with wonderful weather. Being right beside the Atlantic, the weather can change a little bit here, but this year it has been blessed. We're again in the David Broom Arena this week. This week it's Giuliano Venazzi, who's the course builder, Italian level 4 course builder, that one would have seen and has a great influence on the global tour. Very much one of the top course builders. There he is, Giuliano Venazzi. So he has a course with 13 obstacles, 16 efforts, with a time limit of 82 seconds. We're going to take this class. It's a 60 horse class. It's 3-star, 1 meter 50. And we're joining now the class that's been going. So far, there are 5 horses clear. And next into the ring, we have for Spain, Jesus Torres. Andalusian family, actually, brother to the late Tino. Jesus is a very effective rider, and we'll discover the track with him. So 1 to 2, it's an 8-stride distance. To a dogleg, to 3, an Oxer. This is a 1 meter 50 track. Last week we had 4-star Grand Prix with 155. This is a little lower, so some of the riders have chosen different horses for this week, in some cases younger horses. Jesus, he won a Grand Prix in Seville, a horse that is on the way up. Jesus, as said, is a very effective rider and doing a great job here on this track. So far the time hasn't been, a little lucky there on the last fence, or struggled a little bit over the width. The time allowed hasn't been a huge factor so far, but very few clears, only 12 horses to go, and we just have the 5 clear so far. But Jesus now coming to the last, and a tremendous clear, and a great clear for Spain. Spain already has 1 clear. Sarah Salomon with Clear Concert is one of the 5 clears that we have. The other clears so far are Christopher Fraser for the UK, Sarah Beldo, Carlos Mota Ribas for Brazil, Yannick Yoran for Switzerland, and Omar Karelvi for Turkey. So at this stage, Jesus is going to join this group, and we now have 6 clears going through so far, with just 11 left to go. First of those is Eric van der Vleuten. Eric, who is having a tremendous show here with all his horses. Consistently in the money. This horse here has been revelation really during this show, in the winter show when Eric took over the ride. This horse found the indoor situation is a little complicated, but here on a big grass arena, he's been consistently good. Very athletic horse. Can be a little bit keen and a little bit spooky, but has jumped very, very well. Eric, who has decided to stay the 6 weeks here and will go straight in preparation for the second global tour in Mexico in April, but he will stay the whole duration of this Sunshine Tour. Won't be joining the jump off here today, but this is probably maybe even the first fence down that Joseph has over this whole series here in the Sunshine Tour. Eric has also been riding Wunschkind and Snowham. Snowham is a new horse. So Eric's come home with 4. So unfortunately we will not have the pleasure to see him again in the jump off later on. This week it was also the week of the Dortmund International Show, and Doha had a second week of jumping there, so some of the riders came back after the global tour from Doha. Some others stayed over there. Next here in the ring for France, Emmerich George, and he's riding Chopin de Ayette. Has been regularly placed on the circuit. Again, some of the countries are using this show and the series of show here for trying to find new combinations for the coming season Nations Cup team. So a lot of the riders would be trying to impress the chef d'équipe. In the case of France, it's a new chef d'équipe. Philippe Gerdin is no longer the French chef d'équipe after leading the team for many years. It's now Thierry Pommel that is in charge, and assisted by Henk Noren. This combination have been very consistent here. Jumped in. That's fenced down. Combination is what has been causing the most problems on this track so far. Combination jump in the World Cup in Bordeaux back end of last year, and they won a World Cup qualifier in Rabat, Morocco late last year. So coming in with 2 fences down is Emmerich. This week or next week, it's also the beginning of Arezzo. Arezzo is also a tour type venue that's very popular with a big grass arena as well. And some people will move from here to Arezzo for a change. It's also the beginning of the 5-star shows in Europe. Next week there is the Sertogenbosch, and followed the week after by the Hermes show in Paris. So here, just back from Doha. Went to Doha last week for the Global Champions Tour. Back here is Harry Charles. He's riding Borsato. Again, a relatively new horse for Harry. It was written before by John O'Donnell. Has a lot of form over 140, 145s. Could be the a 150 debut for this horse. Harry very much the big hope and the coming star in the UK, already with a very impressive record to his name, son of Peter. Got a little close to the Oxer. Coming home on 8 faults. So some of the remarkable performance that we saw earlier in this class were the Japanese. The Japanese have their team, or what looks like going to be very much part of their team. Two of the horses jumped remarkably well. One unfortunately had a time fault, and another one a very fast 4 fault. So at the moment they're well in the prize money, but it looks that they're building up a very strong team to partake in the Olympic Games next year. So here's for Germany. It's Marcel Marchal. He's riding Fina. Already won a 1m50 here. Marcel has been jumping his other horse in the Grand Prix. This is the first time he's bringing him out Fina in one of the Grand Prix. Misunderstanding on the way down there. Left it very long to the Oxer. Fina was fourth in the Grand Prix in Salzburg last year. To be a little difficult to steer, and always allowing herself to be brought where Marcel would intend her to be. So another round of 8 folds there going out. Next is it's going to be a winner of one of the Grand Prix here, one of the 2 Irish wins that there has been so far out of the 3 Grand Prix. This one is German-based Richard Howley, and he's riding Seahorse. Again, wouldn't have a lot of experience on that size of a track. Did jump a clear round in one of the 1m50 class here on Thursday. He then retired her in the 1m50 class on Friday, probably keeping her fresh for today. Richard, who has a lot of horses here and is enjoying a very successful Sunshine Tour with many of the horses, a lot of placings in all classes. Sunshine Tour, of course, is the ideal venue for training as well as preparing horses for the season, for the big game with 14 arenas in total and 10 used every week. Some are allowed to rest to keep them all in top condition. A little low in the middle of the combination. This is where we're back at 3-star level. Last week we're 4-star, and next week we go back to 4-star. Richard Nassau coming home on 8.
He's already won a Grand Prix here at the Sunshine Tour. Cutting you his way tonight with 2 fences on board Seahorse for Richard Howley from Ireland.
This year, this the 25th running of the Sunshine Tour, and for the first time, Longines has associated itself with the Sunshine Tour. They are using the Sunshine Tour as a research and development place, especially for their timing equipment and all the other technical aspects of the service that's provided by Longines. So a very welcome addition and a vote of confidence of Longines to this venue. Here we have Dominic Hendrix. Demikhov is the reigning Belgium national champion, both indoor and outdoor. He's riding one of his 2-star 9-year-olds. Cannabis van de Buxdale. Dominic, one time also the rider for the very strong Euro horse stable. And coming in clear. There will be a very strong contender for the jump off. Dominic extremely competitive, and his 2 horses with which he 2 young horses, which he can be very competitive with, and he is. As mentioned, he's Belgium national indoor and outdoor champion, which is quite a feat.
Number 7, and after 4 weeks of jumping, the horses really bouncing off this wonderful service in the arena. Dans le Prix Sport en France, nous avons 56 Penelope Leprevo avec 1.
Next in the ring is France's Penelope Prévost. She's riding Vancouver, a stallion. This is all the other times Penelope rode another young horse. Very much decide to build up a strong new team, which he very much successfully is doing. And this horse won the Grand Prix in Munich. jumping a very promising round here. And she joins the list of clear rounds. This horse is by Toulon. Toulon, written by Robert Bourdi, the late Robert Bourdi, and out of Le Tour de Semi mare. Very impressive round there.
At the Sunshine Tour. And he rides a 9-year-old by the great sire Demikhov, Amastis Ducati, Luca Maria Manetta, Italy.
So next is for Italy, Luca Manetto. Riding Amethyst. This horse we've seen the last 2 weeks hasn't really clicked yet, despite having won some 1m50 classes indoors. In this big ring, so far he hasn't just quite clicked. It's a relatively young horse and an experienced horse. Luca is trying to get him to take the place of Connery, with which he had a lot of success, but so far it very much looks like work in progress. And it's 2 down. 3. I think Luca has decided to call it a day. There's still two weeks left, and plenty of opportunities to try and get the horse to settle to the job.
I just had a quick look at the track, but we'll tell you about that in a moment. Today's a lady now. We represented her country at the World Equestrian Games last year at Tryon in the United States of America.
So next is for the UK, one of the upcoming young riders for the UK, and represented the UK at the World Equestrian Games last year with a different horse. She's riding Fruselli, letting her other horses, Glad Rocco and Heart's Destiny, probably to use in the next 2 weeks. Fruselli is just a 9-year-old by Zambesi. The stallion. Distracted on the line there. And Holly decided to call it a day. It's a big arena here. There's plenty of distraction. Some of the horses you tend to feel a little bit lost in such a big space, especially a lot of the shows tend to have quite small arenas, and especially grass arenas tend to be much smaller than this. So there's a lot of public, which during the week there is less, but for the Grand Prix, and especially with the weather, they're getting plenty of enthusiastic public. So just 2 left to go before the jump off. We have 8 clears so far. So next into the ring for Brazil is Pedro Venice. He's riding Sunflower Dutay. Pedro has a big string here. He's decided to use this year to get on the team for the Pan American Games, which is the big date for the American continent. Rotterdam and the Europeans being the big date around here, with the qualifiers for the last qualifying places for Tokyo as the main target. This is a young horse, very much a work in progress. I think Pedro is using this 1.50 m Grand Prix here to try and up the game of Sunflower.
Just going to make it through the last one of the combination cutting.
He's coming in with 4 falls, which is a good effort for this horse. Would have been one of the
really deserved to go clear, but sadly doesn't go quite his way. Maybe
early attempts of Sunflower at that level. So last to go. Last to go is for Belgium. Jérôme Guéry, he's riding Quelhomme de Hus. Quelhomme de Hus is a 13-year-old stallion by Kidam de Revel, owned by Eden Farm. Jérôme, who also has had a very successful Sunshine Tour, achieving very much what he must have set out to do, which is to get a team of horses ready for jumping at the highest level internationally. Some of them horses that would be new to him. All through the show here, Jérôme has had tremendous results with this horse in terms of consistency. Consistently clear at 1.50 m. A very scopy horse, not unlike the horse of Penelope de Prévost a little bit earlier. Big jumper. So we've 8 clears now. This is the last to go. So Jérôme will very much try to make it 9 then. Going to the last. And clear. So we have 9 horses for this shortened course of jump off. a very typical jump-off track for Vizzani, who likes to have a gallop to the last fence. This is unlike last week and the previous week, Giuliano going to set the course. So in the jump off for the UK, Christopher Fraser, Spain, Sarah Salom, Carlos Ribas, Yannick Joran, Omer Karevli, and the ones we saw going clear: Jesus Torres, Dominic Hendrix, Penelope Prevot, and Jerome Gary. A couple of very experienced and very fast, especially the last three are extremely experienced and fast. So we've got 7 jumps and 8 efforts in the jump off. And it is very typically Vizzani with a big gallop to the last fence. So first to go is for the UK, Christopher Fraser. Christopher with his very consistent horse Quisandro, who came here from Villeneuve-Loubet, where he jumped in 3 classes and won the Grand Prix, and then was second and third in 2 other big classes. Here he's been equally consistent throughout the show. So Christopher is bound to show us the marker and to show us what the time could be. Starting off on 5A. Short turn to the Oxer, landed at 14 seconds. Two parts of the combination. Coming to the last. Fortunately, so 40-64, a good try, but unfortunately the last fence down, and the time 40.64.
Big jump over fence number 10, we can see that on the screen, the replay there. And the team of the increasing crowd, look at their disappointment.
Jerome Gary there very much
down to Spain.
watching. He's got great advantage to be last to go. So next will be a very popular candidate here for Spain, Sarah Salomon Beldo, and she's riding the 15-year-old gelding Clear Concert. Horse jumped out of his skin in the first round. Spends quite a bit of time in the air. Looks like Sarah is trying to go for a clear rather than to go flat out to the boards. She won the 2-star Grand Prix in La Coruña in 2017. Just has 2 horses here. So she's coming in clear. A very nice time. So this would have been one of the first times that Sarah competed at the 3-star show, and a wonderful result for her, and a terrific horse. But decided to go safe rather than to go flat out. Wonderful result. Very popular. Now for Brazil we have Carlos Ribas, and he's riding Jella Kathoff. Quite a number of Brazilian riders here trying to get noticed and try new partnerships. This is a relatively new horse for Carlos Ribas, so he will definitely have a go at the time. Tidy turn. Unfortunately got a little too deep there. There's a fence down. Be around the 40.
He did a really good job of defense.
41.50.
A little bit quicker than Chris Fraser, but in the end, it is one down in 40.
Don't think we've seen the quickest time yet. He had the fence down. He seemed to slow down a little bit just to assure, just to have just the one fence down.
Chris Fraser's in second, and Salomon Beldo from Spain leads with the only clear. 45.77, leading the way at the top of the order, and now to Switzerland. The last rider from Switzerland to win.
So now it's for Switzerland, Yannick Joran, and he's riding Sipetto. Sipetto is an 11-year-old by Contagio out of a contender mare, gelding. Slightly higher ridden than the others. Great stride to that Oxer. And extremely well built by Uliano. Doesn't allow people to go too mad in the beginning, because vertical coming into the double. Now going to the last. He's well within the time. No problem with the time there. Oh, but the last fence down. He's 39.58, so the fastest time so far. But unfortunately, the last fence catching him out.
At the moment, that gives into second place. We checked that result with the judges, and they agree he's into second place. But Salomon Beldo from Spain.
So quite remarkably, Sarah is still in the lead at this stage.
We go to Turkey now, and it's a 9-year-old horse, just under the pump, Oxer, Turkey.
So next for Turkey we have Geston La Pomme, written by Omar Karaveli. Omar one of the best Turkish riders based in Holland. This horse jumped earlier in the Sunshine Tour, jumped extremely well, but had one fence down, was just a little bit, just spent a bit too much time in the air, caught a back bar. Since then he's been jumping a lot of clears here at the Sunshine Tour. Omar is extremely experienced rider, helps a lot of other riders as well. Definitely faster than Sarah. Very short turn there to the vertical, and assuring to Junta Oxer clear, and he's clear in 40.83 and now in first place. And, deservedly delighted with his horse. This is a young horse.
This is the Spanish rider Salomon the second, and Yannick Joran for Switzerland into third place. But it's 4 to go. 2 for Belgium, 1 for France. Y ahora en la pista, permanente para España, montado Oki Dupresh, Jesus Torres Garcia, España. Tiempo más rápido, 40.83. New Zealand perfects 9 on 24.5 seconds. That's the target.
Now the other Spanish rider here, Jesus Torres. Andalusian born and living in Andalusia. Unfortunately, the vertical down. Great achievement to be in the jump off for Jesus with this horse. Very, very competitive, Jesus. He's trying to be the fastest 4 faults if he can. Coming in at 40.15, so he just sits beside Yannick Joran at this stage. And in 4th place. So we've 3 extremely competitive and experienced riders to go down to try and take this 3-star Grand Prix with 50,000 euro prize money, or 50,950 to be exact. So first of them is Belgium champion Dominic Hendrix, and Dominic is going with his 9-year-old Cannabix van de Buxtail. Assured himself there to the Oxer. He's up on the time, leaving one out to the last fence and leaves it up. 39.65, and we have a new leader. Liano has built it in a very clever way. It's difficult to leave strides out except to the last fence. Took a very straight line there from to the last fence and was able to leave one out. But on the other jumps he just had to assure himself a little bit too much and took quite a wide turn to the red Oxer. So it'd be interesting to see if the last 2 are able to turn a little bit shorter. So first of the 2 that are left is Penelope de Prévost. Penelope riding Vancouver.
39.65.
Mentioned both last 2 horses to compete are both stallions. Both are extremely athletic, big jumpers. Spend a lot of time in the air. They're both ridden by very competitive riders. So not shorter than Dominic to that. His horse is more rideable than Dominic's horse as well, so she slightly easier to twist and turn. Short time here. Come on an angle to there and continues, takes the same line as Dominic and leaves one out as well. And fast. 400ths of a second faster, so she's now in the lead.
Bravo, Penelope Leopoldo, premier class, Polakos, Vancouver de Landor, Penelope Leopoldo.
The new leader now is Penelope with Vancouver, with just one to go. She won't breathe easy until Jerome is finished.
That was brilliant. Really, really was a super run and big smiles.
Happiness there. So last to go.
12 over who? Jerome Guéry, last to go, Belgium.
Riding on Davis. Although very new for Jerome to ride here. He did ride it once at a show last year, just a couple of classes. But otherwise it's a new addition to his string and one that looks extremely promising. Little defense there, costing time. Quick to that Oxer. Was fast between those two here again, coming on an angle and going for that same line. Yes. And the winner. Jerome, who's at least two horses to look forward to for the rest of the season, to jump at the very highest level. He's been consistently performing in the 150 classes week in, week out, and now he's writing this 3-star Grand Prix to his name.
Dominic Hendrix third place, fourth, and Salomon Beldo for Spain takes fifth. Presentation on the way.
So Jerome Guéry, Penelope Brevoort, Dominic Hendrix, Omer Caravalli, Sarah Salom. Great performance by Sarah, finding herself in a safe fifth, and Yannick Gourlan. And then you see Japan have two in the money there. Koki Saito with Zelensky on just one time fault, and so a great result as well for the Japanese preparation there for Tokyo. Both horses sourced and influenced by Paul Schockemöller, who has a long association with the Japan Equestrian Federation and is helping them in their preparation for Tokyo. But it's all about Jerome Guéry, and now to be interviewed by Eamon McGowan.
Well, here we are at the end of week 4, and Jerome Guéry has just won the Junta de Andalucia Grand Prix. Jerome, that was class.
Yeah, it was super. I'm really happy with the victory. For me, the victory is really special because I received the horse 3 weeks ago from my friend Gaëtan de Croix. It was with him already really good, and but I didn't know it was so good with me also. And all the time he has the reputation that it was a slow horses, and today we see that it's not a slow horses. He is fast. He jumped amazing in the first round, and he did a super jump off also. I'm really happy. I'm sure you will see this horse in a big show as soon.
And Dominic Hendrix came in. We thought Dominic was quick. Then Penelope came in. We thought she was quick, and you were last to go, and you won. It was brilliant.
Yeah, it was really brilliant, but I didn't know it was possible for me to be quicker, and I tried to do my best, and the horse listened me perfectly, and the result was amazing.
And you've had a good 4 weeks here, haven't you?
Okay, all my horse was really good, and it's good to finish like this.
And you tell me you're going to get your flight. We'll let you go in a moment. Jerome, tell us a little bit about the tour, how it's been for you the 4 weeks, and how it's really going to set you up for XXV and so on.
Yeah, the tour here is amazing. They did an amazing job this year. The show grew up so much. They make new arena, new stable, new facility for all rider. And also this year we had an amazing rider, and I hope it's still like this for the last 2 weeks. It's the best tour in the world, sure. I come every year, and I'm happy to come here every year.
Well, Jerome, many congratulations on winning the 3-star Grand Prix this week, and good luck in XXV.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for being with us.
It was a world-class round from a world-class rider, Jerome Prix.
So there we are. I think Jerome said it all. Like a few of the riders now, Jerome is taking on the season ahead, and the first appointment will be the wonderful, he's going back indoors, the wonderful show in Herzogenbosch. But from us, it's goodbye, and until next week, we'll see you again here on the Sunshine Tour. Alan Storm.
Programa patrocinado por Longines.